Hello there, my name's Ian and I have written this book, 100 unhip albums that we should learn to love. So today I'm going to read you one of the little chapters from it, either as an advertisement or an audition for Jackanory. So if you're all sitting comfortably, I'm going to talk about Bryan Ferry's These Foolish Things album. Okay. Bryan Ferry, These Foolish Things, 1973. Bryan Ferry pastiched the lounge lizard Lothario so well that in no time at all the join between the real and imaginary became invisible, and the work of art that Ferry sent out to promote his musical endeavour became revered for his elegance and chic. A style icon, imitated by weekend hedonists at Pips and aspiring pop stars alike, he was the epitome of cool, and the fact that this bitter long hairs of the music press sniped at his lack of authenticity, dubbing him Byron Ferrari, only emphasised the gulf that was widening between the 60s throwbacks and those at the cusp of the sea change that was the 1970s. Bryan Ferry was at the forefront of fashion and seemed untouchable. His position of preening preeminence, but of course the downside of fashionability is that it inevitably changes, and what was in yesterday is out tomorrow. Sadly, Ferry these days has become an anachronism, mocked for his political views, for his affiliation with the aristocracy, and most of all mocked for his music, which is derided as sterile and lacking in emotion. What is odd about this judgment is his work with Roxy Music is untainted by these criticisms and rightfully applauded for its daring. They remain untouchable. Anyway, Ferry was busy in 1973. Roxy released For Your Pleasure at the beginning of the year. He sacked Brian Eno, replacing him with Eddie Jobson, and the newly configured band recorded and released Stranded, their best album, at the year's end. In between came his first foray as a solo artist. These Foolish Things was an album of cover versions. This has become a junk shop staple, but is an absolute gem of a record. The sainted Bob Dylan's Cuban Missile commentary, A Hard Rain's Gonna Fall, is the opening track and was a major hit single. But Ferry takes this serious piece of work and turns it into a glorious, unforgettable romp. Never had Dylan's songcraft been treated with such a lack of respect, but freed from the baggage of its message and importance, its playful heart was revealed. The same treatment is meted out to each song. The mission seems to be to locate the pop heart of each piece and display both the so-called serious songs, such as Sympathy for the Devil and You Won't See Me, and the supposedly banal confections, such as Baby I Don't Care and It's My Party, and show them as equals when they're stripped of the artifice draped over them. The final song and title track of the album, These Foolish Things, harks back to the pre-rock and roll era and seems to be a deliberately positioned coda to what has preceded it, and a gentle statement that all these foolish things are simply songs we can enjoy if prejudicial thinking is not allowed to dictate what is considered to be cool.